Assalamu alaikum. Once again, just as you are in the third session of my program about the belief in believer. And today our subject is about Talut, a story of which last week I was by Farsi language, and this today is about by English. However, like I said in the second session, that is the Talut. He was the commander, and in army one person was the name of Dawood. And then Dawood was a very righteous person, and then at the same time the soil already, Samuel, the prophet Samuel, the prophet Israeli, knew that the boy, his shepherd he already met him long time, and then at the same time now he is an army. In the army he did kill the Jalut. And the soil or Talut wants to befriend him, at the same time wants to give a present to David. That present was the concubine wife of the soil, one daughter. And that daughter, he wants to give him that daughter. Then David or Dawood rejected, because he knew that this was not the real daughter. And then this way, and then the people understand, Talut is not the right person, because he has some hiding, he has some another wife or another illegitimate way of life and doing. And Samuel also was unhappy with him, because he did not follow his rule, his command, and so things. But at the same time, David, when they denied, and then the soil or the Talut was thought, now I become much more bad in the face of the public. And then he gave him his real daughter, Michelle, to marry with the Dawood. However, after next 2-3 months or later on, in the same year, there was another fighting, was in the Golan places, that is south of Jerusalem. And then the Talut that area was become sick, and then he could not run, he died. When after death of him, and suddenly God already mentioned to the Samuel, the prophet, he ointment him by the secret oil. He become as a king of Israel. This is the first one is the soil, and the second one, even though that one now become the father-in-law and son-in-law. Talut was the father-in-law, and then son. After that, the son-in-law. Now he's the son-in-law of the Dawood, of the Talut. And Samuel was select him as an ornament by the will of probably by the reason of God, and then he became so much famous. And the history of the Dawood is so much long. Everything, people was respect him, and he did the 10 command, which was belonged to the Pharaoh and the Egyptian places, and he brought them on the temple of the David and his David. And then he did a lot of good things. And also he was a poem. He was a writer. After when he started in the army, he became and also he's a musician. The kind of musician that he is poem to do say praise of God, and and he like one of the instrument daf, and the other one was I think is rubab or something like that, and he played that. And that's why, even though the one time the soil was sick very much, and he played with that music in front of him, the soil was get better. And even the Samuel, the prophet, also loved his music. So, however, I'm not talking about the music as a, to give him as a rights for the in a believing point, which is music is something important, maybe not, or maybe, but that Dawood was as a musician. Dawood had a poem. Dawood, singing, and all the birds was just when he is starting, when he musician was come and then front of him and sit down and then listening from them. And at the same time, Dawood had of course, every king has many wives, but he has also 2-3 wives. One of them was the 2 children, 4 children, something. David and Dawood also, one of his wife was from the African race, or maybe Arabian race. But his name also, from that wife, he had 2 sons. One of them is Suleiman. The Suleiman also is a story which we know already. We have a lot of story about them. And then he become after the David. David is the prophet, and the 3 religion. His name is in all the book, all the Bibles. Even the Christianity was believe on the David a lot, because they saying, and Jesus is just as a father of the Jesus, somehow about the education, or somehow about the way of the what he had before, religious way. And however, these are the all story which was I talked so far. It was all about the Israeli point of view. So now we would like to come about what the Quran said about the Talut, Jalut, and Dawood. So now, and I would like to reading first about him in Quran, and after that I would like to translate it from the word of Quran, what Allah said about the Talut and Jalut and David. So this is the Quranic verses which I quoted from the Quran, and then I will recite it inshallah, and after that I will give him translation. And after all about the believing, what is the belief? Someone has a strong belief to Allah, how they become success. Someone has turn on the other way, how he become down. However, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم تر إلى الملأ من بني إسرائيل من بعد موسى إذ قالوا لنبي لهم أبعث لنا ملكا نقاتل في سبيل الله قال هل عسيتم إن كتب عليكم القتال ألا تقاتلوا قالوا وما لنا ألا نقاتل في سبيل الله وقد أخرجنا من ديارنا وأبنائنا فلما كتب عليهم القتال تولوا إلا قليلا منهم والله عليم بالظالمين وقال لهم نبيهم إن الله قد بعث لكم طالوت ملكا قالوا أنى يكون له الملك علينا ونحن أحق بالملك منه ولم يؤت سعة من المال. قال إن الله اصطفاه عليكم وزاده بسطة في العلم والجسم والله يؤتي ملكه من يشاء والله واسع عليم. وقال لهم نبيهم إن آية ملكه أن يأتيكم التابوت فيه سكينة من ربكم وبقية مما ترك آل موسى وآل هارون تحمله الملائكة إن في ذلك لآية لكم إن كنتم مؤمنين. فلما فصل طالوت بالجنود قال إن الله مبتليكم بنهر فمن شرب منه فليس مني ومن لم يطعمه فإنه مني إلا من اعترف غرفة بيده فشربوا منه إلا قليلا منهم. فلما جاوزه هو والذين آمنوا معه قالوا لا طاقة لنا اليوم بجالوت وجنوده. قال الذين يظنون أنهم ملاقو الله كم من فئة قليلة غلبت فئة كثيرة بإذن الله والله مع الصابرين. ولما برزوا لجالوت وجنوده قالوا ربنا افرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. فهزمهم بإذن الله وقتل داود جالوت وآتاه الله الملك والحكمة وعلمه ممن يشاء ولولا دفع الله الناس بعضهم ببعض لفسدت الأرض ولكن الله ذو فضل على العالمين. تلك آيات الله نتلوها عليك بالحق وإنك لمن المرسلين. This is the one of the Quran which is in the Surah Al-Baqarah, verse starting 2 and 247. In the three verses only. Within 3 verses, many subject, many stories about in these 3 verses in Quran. Which these are only again for the main purpose of this is the one who believe, the one who follow the command of their prophets, and they will be success, and the one who cannot do, and they will be fail. At the same time, the most important about the Dawood alayhi salam, which he is how Allah gave him such a kind of power. How he come out in the way of fighting and also to kill the Jalut. So and then inshallah after one break inshallah I gave him the all meaning from Quranic directly which I recited for you inshallah. Just stay with me for